Hey, hey! Welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey to become worthy opponents of the evil Dread Lord Zargon. We are very close to being finished with our first book. Now, this book, The Coming Storm, is only book 1 out of 14, so have no fear, we have plenty more quests coming at you guys before we finish. Tonight, our heroes have been hired by the Emperor to seek out and destroy a group of monsters who have holed themselves up in a fortress called the Bastion of Chaos. There is a gold reward for every single monster killed, so we gotta make sure we keep track of who's doing what. As always, if you're hanging out in the stream tonight, make sure you throw something in the chat so I know you're there. We always have some fantastic conversations in these streams, and I am looking forward to getting into that tonight. We have some extra interesting stuff to talk about tonight, as for the first time, we have some shorts posted all over the stuff. We've got TikTok shorts, we've got YouTube shorts, and they have all been masterfully edited by our very own Justin Pollitt, who is in the chat already, I can see. So thank you, Justin. Fantastic job. Looking forward to some more. And also, according to the comments on our brand new YouTube shorts, I'm a sociopath. So let's talk about that tonight. Don't forget, speaking of all that stuff, you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest, including both quests and painting streams, over on that Midnight Quest YouTube channel, where we would appreciate all the content creatory things like subscribing and liking and following here on Twitch. And now you can go follow us on TikTok. We should have Twitter and Instagram coming along soon too. I'm not very social media-y, so it's taking a little bit to get to that stuff, but we will have it soon.
Yeah, considering Twitter's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Oh, right, it's not Twitter anymore. Right, see, that's how not social media-y I am. We are streaming here just about every single night of the week, right at midnight. Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights, we are questing, and on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, we are painting, leaving you only Thursday nights to be stranded in the combat zone, walk through Bedford Stye alone, and ride your motorcycle in the rain.
You may be right.
Yes. So we have some quests set up to get started on before we can get rolling, so let's get that moving. Justin says, I don't know if I want a sociopath teaching my children. I don't know how you kept it hidden from me for 14 years. That's a good question. That comment has me figured out, I guess. Okay. Well, you guys know the drill. Let me make sure that I got the right thing set up here so that we can look at what heroes are going to be going on the quest tonight. I'm going to pull the camera over here. Regular viewers know this, but just in case this is your first episode of Midnight Quest, we have a group of 11 heroes right now, but only 4 of those 11 can go on the quest. So we are going to use these Beatles cards to choose 4 heroes. These cards line up with a character randomizer sheet up here on the wall behind me so that we can make sure this is kept random, and also that we can keep generally about the same number of quests for each hero. Now, Mordecai, our newest hero, is way behind everybody else, so it's definitely generally the same. Our first hero tonight is the Ace of Diamonds, which is Traeus the Wizard. Here he is. Soon to be painted, of course. You know, I just suddenly realized he's got a beard. I don't think I ever noticed that. It's a short beard. Neat. Our second hero tonight, the Jack of Diamonds, is Gramina, the Dwarven Explorer. Where's Gohan? Gramina's going on a quest. And I can confirm that there is at least one secret door to be found. The Ace of Clubs is the Knight, Sir Ragnar. Rescued during Quest 2, he joined the heroes and has been a good asset ever since. Here he is. Gohan must not be in yet, or he'd be flying off the handle in the chat right now. And finally, the Queen of Diamonds is the Robert Tylan, the Berserker. Also soon to be painted.
I wanted it to be Tiago.
I think he also has a beard.
Yes, he does.
Nice.
It's black and white.
Lots of bearded people going on quests tonight. Can't beat that. All right, let's find our character cards. How's everybody doing tonight? I see we've got a few viewers. Hope everybody's doing good. Nope, there's Robert Tylan. There's Treyas. There's Gramina. We're finding the cards quick. There's Sir Ragnar. Okay. All right, we're going to need spells, so I'm going to move these out of the way for the moment. Let's grab our character cards here. That's character cards. We just did character cards. My character sheets. Bohemius is here. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Justin says, got off of work an hour ago. 8, then speed running last night's paint stream looking for clips. Awesome. Good to hear. They are performing extremely well already. That has been definitely good. Here's Gramina. There's Treyas. Oh, Gramina's second. Treyas is first. There's Ragnar. And there's Robert Tylan. Awesome. You know, almost all of these characters, I've given them last names, but for some reason, Robert Tylan is the only one that I say consistently. I say his whole name, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because Robert doesn't sound very medieval-y. I think I got that name off a random generator. Not sure why I picked it. Justin said, I was shocked to see it. I figured maybe like 100 each. Oh, yeah. Wild. Yeah, that the one where I miscount really bad is like over 1,000 views already. That short where I'm moving a hero and I say 11, 12, 15, which was a genuine mistake. I really don't know why my brain shut off right there, but it was awfully funny. Okay, now that we have our character sheets out, we can kind of look at the loadout and see if we need to visit the armory. We don't have very much gold. We only have 500 gold coins. So we actually do not have a whole lot in the way of what we can do. It's kind of looking like our best bet is getting the Berserker some chainmail, which is going to take every bit of gold that we've got. But everybody else is fairly well geared up. We got Gramina and Treyas that can both disarm traps, so we're not worried there. Yeah, I think that might be the way to go there. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So our Berserker Robert Tylan, we're going to go ahead and get him chainmail, which costs exactly 500 gold, so that's going to take every bit of gold we've got, but it is going to push him up to 3 defense dice, which is not bad. I'd say 3 is kind of the minimum that you'd want. That is going to push us down to nothing, though. Like I said, though, we are going to get a pretty good amount of gold tonight. There is a gold reward for each kill tonight, in addition to Mentor's 50 coins per surviving heroes. Now, I have gone ahead and tallied up the total number of gold, because I don't know why the heroes wouldn't kill all the monsters. So I imagine we're gonna be getting the maximum amount, which still isn't a huge amount, but neat. Okay, items. Treyas has a toolkit. There's not a card for that. Gramina had that potion of warmth, which we sold. I forgot to erase that off her sheet, so get rid of that. Sir Ragnar has a heroic brew and also a potion of healing. And Robert Tylan doesn't have anything. That's actually it for items. Okay, let's get spells and skills. So, of course, Ragnar has his knight skills, the same 3 knight skills as is normal. Let me grab those. He has Imperial Training, Rallying Call, and Concentrated Attack, which we will cover if and when he uses those. Gramina has the Explorer skills. Now, these we might as well go ahead and explain, just in case anybody watching does not know about these already. The Explorer skills work a little bit differently than most heroes' skills do. They are static skills, so they just stay in play all the time. This is not something that Gramina has to choose to use. They're just constantly working. Her Coin Hunter skill means that if she finds gold during a treasure search, we get to add an additional 25 coins. Her Danger Sense means that if she draws a trap while she's searching for treasure, we can discard that and draw again, but only once per treasure search. And her Trapsmith means that if she is at any point during her turn standing directly adjacent to a trap, I have to tell her that. So she's kind of the one hero who doesn't have to search for traps, and it's not really that big a deal. Robert Tylan also has Berserker skills. He's got Enrage, Retaliation, and Frenzy, which we will cover if he uses them. I think he used most or all of them last time he was in a quest, so that's neat to see. And then we need to do spells for Treyas. And then as soon as we've got that done, we are ready to leap into the quest. So let's go back to the desk view so that we can take a look at spells. Now, Treyas is working on leveling up his spell ability, but right at the moment, he still carries 8 spells into each quest. He gets to pick one of those by name, but the other 7 are going to be randomized. As always, I have a big old deck right here of 6 copies each of the 12 Classic Hero Quest spells. We are going to break this big pile down into 4 smaller piles and use a regular deck of cards to determine which spells he's going to be taking. Now, I would love to reach a point where I don't feel like we need to take healing spells, but we only have 1 single potion of healing going into this quest, and we don't have any gold to visit the apothecary, so I think his pick 1 spell is probably going to be a healing spell, just in case the random draw doesn't give him any. That's probably the way to go. So we might need some healing in this quest. Okay. All right. Oh, yes. And just like last night, we are getting the spam chats out of the way early. So if anybody has been feeling like their computer has been particularly spam-free or virus-free, go ahead and click that link. It'll give you a good one that you can mess around with. Yeah, obviously don't do that. Okay, here's a heal body spell that he can take. We'll do that. I should be clear, too, that we just looked through one of these piles, but the cards are determining what's in there. So it's not really a big deal that I know, not that I remember any of that, but it's not really a big deal that whether or not we know what's in each pile, because the cards are determining what we take. Okay, 8 total. He's already got 1. His second spell is going to be pile 4, card 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Swift Wind allows him to move a little bit faster for 3 turns. It's not a spell that I use too often, but might come in handy. His third spell, pile 2, card 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is Courage. That's a good one. This will temporarily boost his attack for as long as he can see a monster, or anybody he casts that spell on, I should say. His fourth spell, pile 2, card number 1. Is Veil of Mist. This is the other spell I don't really use all that much. This allows him to move through monsters, which normally he can't do. Pile 2, card 6. We're really going pile 2 heavy today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is Sleep. Does exactly what it sounds like. Puts a monster to sleep so it can't move, attack, or defend, but it can break that spell. The next spell is going to be pile 4, card 1. Which is Rock Skin, temporary boost to defense. We got 2 more to do here. Pile number 4, card 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is another heal body. That's good. So we've got a little bit of insurance when it comes to healing. And his last spell is going to be pile 2, card 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is Pass Through Rock. So yeah, he kind of got all of the spells that I don't use very often. So Swift Wind, Veil of Mist, and Pass Through Rock are the ones that I find myself using the least. Not never, but the least. We didn't touch pile number 3 there at all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put these in sort of an order that I would expect to maybe use them, just in an attempt to make it so that I'm probably not going to be drawing from the middle of the deck. I usually end up doing it anyway, because we don't know until we get into a situation what spell is going to be helpful. I want to arrange them in a way that I can see all of the names of the spells really easily, at least. There we go. And with that, I do believe that we are pretty much ready to go. Justin says Pass-Through Rock is awesome. Yes, that is one that is really difficult to use in the situation that I'm playing in because I know what the map looks like. So I'm essentially guaranteed to not put them in solid rock where they would die, which isn't bad, but it's also not what a player would do. So the only time I find myself using Pass-Through Rock is if I know the players would know that they're safe going where they're going and it strategically makes sense. So it's not quite the same risk reward that it would be for a player. Okay, let's get the music rolling. I forgot to do that earlier. There we go. And we'll read our quest text. This is Quest 11, Bastion of Chaos. Lands to the east have been plagued by marauding orcs and goblins. The Emperor has ordered that a band of worthy heroes should be sent forth to destroy them. The orcs are well protected in a strong underground fortress known as the Bastion of Chaos. They are led by a small group of Chaos warriors. You must fight your way in and kill all of the monsters you find. Heroes will be paid a bounty of 10 gold coins for each goblin killed, 20 gold coins for each orc killed, 30 gold coins for each abomination or femur killed, and 50 gold coins for each dread warrior or chaos warrior killed. Awesome. Oh, Justin says he used it to save Sir Ragnar faster. I bet that was handy if you remembered where he was right off the bat. That probably was super handy. Okay, the only other skill that we need to remember is that Grimina has unlocked her dwarf disarm. So if she comes across traps, she will have a really high chance of being able to disarm that without anything else happening bad. I sent him through the wall to get to the exit fast. Yeah, so you cast it on Ragnar to get him out of there? That makes sense. Because yeah, he is really close to that central room if he gets a good roll. All right, we'll go ahead and put our character cards back down so I remember the turn order. And let's take a look at where we're starting. Okay, tonight, I think we're actually going to start with the other camera. We are starting off in this room right here. So we're going to grab some stairs. And here we have our spiral stairway into a pretty cramped room right there. We also have a doorway right here on the corner. Actually, we'll face that the other way towards the heroes. And here they come up the staircase now. Atreus the Wizard, Grimina the Dwarven Explorer, Sir Ragnar the Knight, and Robert Tylan the Berserker. We're ready to go. Even though we're in a real tiny room, we are ready to go. Okie dokie. We got all the normal stuff. We're going to be randomizing everything since I know what the map is. We're using these regular cards to randomize stuff to simulate player experience. So, Atreus the Wizard, he can search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave the room, or cast Rock Skin. Technically he has 5 options. And he is, let's see, he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which was search for treasure. He's going right for treasure right away. Let's see what he finds. Atreus finds a potion of strength. That's handy for a wizard. This will give him, let's see, 2 extra attack dice the next time he attacks. So it's not a continuous thing, it's just for 1 attack, but will definitely help him out if he gets himself into a bind. Second action, traps, secret doors, leave, or cast Rock Skin. He's casting Rock Skin, interesting. Does it make sense for him to cast this on himself? Yeah, actually everybody is pretty equally defensive except Grimina, who has a little better than everybody else. So let's just see, is he going to cast this on himself or should he cast this on somebody else? We'll exclude Grimina, but any of the other ones could theoretically get it. He's actually going to cast it on Ragnar, which is kind of an interesting choice. So Ragnar will get a temporary bonus in defense dice until he takes some damage. Grimina, traps, secret door, or leave. She's doing traps. There are no traps in this little room. Second action, secret doors or leave. She's gonna do secret doors. Boy, nobody's moving. It's like, let's just hang out on the stairs. Maybe the monsters will come to us. No secret doors here. Ragnar, there's nothing left to do but move. Let's get him out of here. Oh, and he only rolled 3. Just in case this is your first time watching Midnight Quest, please direct your attention down to the bottom left of the screen where you will find a dice cam so you can follow along with the dice rolls and keep me on track in case I do something wrong. Ragnar is going to move up to the door here and open it. And we are looking here into the red room where we find 2 additional doors. There is one right here. And another one right here. In this room, there are 2 mountain goblins. These are just good old run-of-the-mill goblins with regular Hero Quest stats. Both of these are painted minis. Very nice. Another quick plug for our painting streams on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. You can come hang out here right on the same channel at the same time where you will find my wife here painting these minis. So you can come hang out with her, give your input on what these minis should look like. It's been really fun playing with more and more actual painted ones. Okay, 2 mountain goblins in the room. Ragnar theoretically can reach one. Is he going to stop and search for traps though? Yes, he is. So he is going to spend his second action searching this red room for traps, and there are none. Robert Tylan, the Berserker, there's nothing left to do but move. And being a Berserker, he should probably want to get those goblins, so let's just go ahead and move him right up. Actually, he has enough movement to get to either one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just going to go straight up. I guess he didn't actually, did he? Yeah, he kind of did. All right. Robert Tylan swings his broadsword, question mark? Yes, broadsword. Robert Tylan swings his broadsword at the mountain goblin, hitting it with a 1. The goblin does not defend the attack. He's out of here. Awesome. Okay, that is it for him because he moved an attack. That means it is the monster's turn, and we have a goblin right here ready to go. Now, theoretically, this goblin could attack Robert or Sir Ragnar, but I really don't know why the goblin would bypass Robert Tylan to get to Ragnar. So let's just go ahead and move him right here. Mountain Goblin attacks Robert, but misses. Right back to heroes. We are now at Atreus the Wizard standing on the staircase. Let's get him moving in there. He's got a pretty decent roll. Remember that heroes can exit the staircase on any square they want, so he doesn't have to go straight in front of him. He can exit on that same square that Ragnar did. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Atreus swings his wooden staff and also misses. We're off to an interesting start. This brings us to Grimina, the Dwarven Explorer, standing back there. She also needs to get moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if she can get rid of this guy. Grimina swings her broadsword at the goblin, hitting it with a 2, which is a skilled strike for a goblin. So that guy is super dead. Again, I don't know why I'm in an explanation mood tonight, but again, just in case anybody's watching for the first time, skilled strike is totally just a terminology that I made up. It's not a Hero Quest thing. That's usually what I call it if a hero gets so many skulls that even if the monster rolled as many shields as it could, it's still dead. It couldn't have possibly defended an attack that strong. And goblins are the weakest monster in the game, so it doesn't take much to do that for them right now. They will get harder later. Super dead! Yes! Super dead. Where are we at? Ragnar now needs to get down into that room. He actually could search for secret doors from his current position, so let's see. Is he going to search for secret doors where he's at, move into the room and search for treasure, or move into the room and head for one of the other doors? I'm going to go ahead and roll his dice, just so we can determine could he even reach one of the other doors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so theoretically he could reach any of the doors. So what's he going to do? He is going to search for secret doors from his current position. There are none in that red room, which means his second action pretty much has to be movement, and we'll use that 6 we rolled. Which door is he going to head for? He's going to head for this one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go ahead and have him open that door. In this new room, this blue room, which is slightly off camera, we have another door, and at least for now, that is it. In the red room, we are now at Robert Tylan the Berserker. I have not pointed that at him very well. Nope, wrong direction. I don't know why I have so much trouble putting this camera where it needs to go. Okay, Robert, search for treasure or leave. He's gonna do treasure. Let's see what he finds. Oh no! Robert accidentally triggers a spring-loaded mechanism which crushes a glass vial and showers him in a stinging purple liquid. It's poison. Roll 1 combat dice. If it's a skull, he loses 1 body point. But luckily, he's a berserker. He's got lots of adrenaline going. The poison had no effect. Okay, second action, he can go ahead and move. So I guess our question now is he going the direction Ragnar opened, or is he going to open the other door? He's going to open the other door, so he's headed this way. 1, 2, 3. Opening the door into this room. Whoops. 1 second. Excuse me. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud into the mic. In our new room, no further doors. We do have a fireplace, one of the cooler pieces of furniture here. Really looking forward to seeing one of these painted. Get a fireplace put right there. We also have 3 swamp goblins. There we go. And again, these guys are all painted up. Oh gosh, I'm doing a terrible job of showing these, and I can't get them turned right. Swamp goblins, swamp monsters are particularly hard attackers, but they have bad defense, so they're not too hard to get rid of, but you do not want one of them hitting you. There is also in this room 1 swamp orc. There's the swamp orcs. What I knock over? Here we go. So kind of a full room he's just opened up there, and he does not have an action left to do anything about it. Okay, now if he goes in there, he's going to get swarmed, so there's really no reason for him to continue his movement. I think he's just going to hang out right here. All right, Monster's turn is going to take us to this particular room where at least one of these monsters is going to get up there to attack him. So let's see. Now, swamp monsters aren't slow, right? So even the orc, well, yeah, the orc would only have to move 2 to get up there. So let's go ahead and draw a card. We're going to go hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. Clubs, so it's going to be this guy. Okie dokie. Swamp Goblin attacking Robert Tylan. Swings its dagger and hits him with a 1. That's pretty lucky. That's not too bad. Right, we got him chainmail, so he's got some better defense tonight. He does block the attack, but just barely. That brings us back to the hero's turn. So we are at Atreus the Wizard, who is standing right up against this wall. Is he going to head out the way Ragnar's going, or help Robert Tylan? He's going to head out with Ragnar. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to point the camera over here at the blue room. Now that he's in here, nobody searched this for traps. Is he going to stop? No, he is not. Okay, so what is he headed to do? There's a 6, and I'm refusing to say the second number. 6-2, the 6th inning, I guess. And let's see, now is he going to stop here? Because he does have more movement yet, so we need to know, is he going to open this door, or is he going to search for something from right there? Search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, continue his movement. He is going to search for traps now that he's stepped most of the way into the room. No traps in this room. Gramina's turn. So this pretty much means that we need to send Gramina over to help Robert Tylan. So we got 2 heroes going this way, 2 heroes taking care of this. So we don't need to roll Gramina for this. 1, 2. We're guaranteed at least 2 movement, so she can fire, because she does have long range, I believe. Yes, she has a crossbow. So let's have her fire at that swamp goblin. Gramina sets an arrow in her crossbow and fires. Wow, hitting the goblin with not only a critical hit of 3, but also that means it is a skilled strike. So that goblin is super dead. Yes, yeah. Savannah says that Gramina is not messing around tonight, and that is absolutely right. She is tired of getting made fun of, and she's not having it anymore. Okay, that takes us to Ragnar. He could search for secret doors from his current location, or he could move in there to search for treasure, or he could move in there and just go for the door. Let's go ahead and roll him, because if he's not even going to roll enough to make it to the door, we can just take that option off. Yeah, no, he can make it there. So any of those three things. He is going to search for secret doors from his current location, and there are none. That's the second time this quest he's done that. It's weird how much the randomization still gives the hero's personality. Okay, with his second action, we might as well have him move up to the door. Wow, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. That allows him to, oh my gosh, we're not even on camera. Open the door out into this hallway where we can see quite a bit of stuff. There's not too many walls going on right here, so he can see out into this long hallway. And let me pick you guys up here for a second so we can see as much of the board as possible. So he can see all the way down this hallway, actually clear to the other corner. Let me show you guys the other camera here, because there's some stuff on this side of the board that camera is not going to be able to get that he can now, or he is now aware of, I should say. There's a door here and another door here. Okay, and at least for now, that is all he can see. Get down a little bit closer back to him. There we go. Okay, now he doesn't have an action left to search, but is he going to go ahead and move out there, or is he going to stop right where he's at? He's going to stop. Okay, and that takes us to Robert Island the Berserker. Over here. Now that room has not been searched for anything, so it would be kind of dangerous to walk in there, but he is a Berserker, so he might yet. What's he going to do? Search for traps where he is, or just go running in there? Now he could search for secret doors there too, but I feel like there's a threat of monsters. There's no reason to do searches unless they can't do anything else, other than traps, which kind of makes sense. So traps or walk in there. He's going to walk in there. Okay, he has 3 monsters he could theoretically go for if he's walking in there. Which guy is he going for? We'll go low, medium, and high. King is redraw for that case. 8 is medium, so he's just literally going to walk right 1 inside the doorway. Robert Tylan swings his broadsword at the Swamp Goblin. Wow, hitting it with a critical hit, which is also a skilled strike, making this monster also super dead. They're not just regular killing the monsters tonight. No, no, no. Every monster's got to be super dead. We're getting gold for this stuff. We got to make sure the job is done right. All right, that takes him up, and that takes us to the monster's turn. Now, the only monsters we have on the board are the ones that are right here, and neither of them can get through Gramina, so unfortunately, Robert is going to get a little surrounded. But he does benefit from being lower on body points, so I don't think that's really too big of a deal. Swamp Goblin swings its axe at the Berserker, hitting him with a 2. He attempts to defend and does not. This drops him to 9 body points. The Swamp Orc also attacks, and again, Swamp Orcs have the same kind of benefit that Swamp Goblins do, higher attack but worse defense. The Swamp Orc swings its sword, hitting Robert with a 2. He attempts to defend and actually does manage to defend that one. Nice. Okay, not too bad there. So let's see, we are back to the beginning of the hero's turn, which means we are at Treyas, who's standing right here in the blue room. Are we doing treasure or leaving? He's gonna do treasure. Let's see what Treyas finds. Oh, while Treyas is searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes him. He loses 1 body point. This drops him to 10. That's no fun. There's nothing left to do but move here. However, 1, 2. Nobody searched this hallway for traps yet, so is he going to stop here knowing that there could be traps? Yes, he is. One more new thing to show now that he's out into this hallway is there are actually a couple of monsters down here that I was going to activate on the next monster's turn anyway. Since he's out here, we might as well show that. Let's poke this out over here just a little bit. So you can see there's a couple of walls kind of indented back here, and there are a couple of goblins standing right here. There's a mountain goblin and a goblin archer. Let's go ahead and grab those. So we got a mountain goblin hanging out right here, and a goblin archer hanging out right next to him. Yes. So there's nothing that can be done about them yet, but on the next monster's turn, they are both going to activate for sure. Oh, yes, Justin's asking how his daughter's lesson went tonight. His daughter takes piano lessons from me. Went good. I mean, unsurprisingly so. She got 2 songs done. She got one of the really, really easy ones done, which she just blew right through. And she also did one of the hardest songs that is in the beginning of the book. So she played, both of these were Eagles songs. She played The Long Run, which is really easy. And then she played I Can't Tell You Why, which is very not easy. Lots of weird chords in that, and she got straight through it. There's a couple of moments that it threw her for a loop, but she got right on it. There's very little explanation I had to do. When she hit something wrong, she knew it was wrong, and she was able to fix it. Gramina. Yeah, we're just about pointed at Gramina. Here she is right here. She could get in there close range. Nobody's searched for traps yet, though, although, again, her class is such that she's not likely to step on a trap, so it's probably not a big deal. 1, 2, 3. She's going to be shooting long range either way, so let's just go ahead and move her up 1 and have her shoot. And I don't feel like she can see this goblin, but she can probably see that orc. Gramina loads an arrow into her crossbow and fires. Wow, look at that. Again, 3, which is a critical hit, and also for a swamp orc, a skilled strike. So yet again, super dead. Yeah, none of them are. All right, Ragnar, over here in the blue room. There's nothing left to do in the blue room. Now, we do know he stopped right there because this hallway hasn't been searched for traps. So let's actually force that as a first action. He's going to search this hallway for traps. Now, warriors in this land have what's called a warrior sense, which means they can focus their abilities to sense traps or secret doors in a certain area. And this area is usually pretty big. This is, by the way, just the lore reason we're giving for kind of a weird game mechanic. There are probably some better ways to go about how to search large areas. So just for the sake of my own memory, we're going to let him search this whole hallway from this corner right here all the way down the board to the other corner. We'll switch to the other camera so we can see kind of what's going on all the way to this corner. There's only one trap in this entire hallway, and it is a pit trap down here on this corner. So it's just barely on camera. Yeah, there we go. So the corner of the map right here, pit trap right there, and no other traps in this hallway. Justin says, I need to do a super dead count short. Yes, absolutely. How many are we up to already this quest? Probably 3 or 4 already, I think. All right, that means that Ragnar can move now, so he does still have another action. He can move a little bit safer into that hallway. I guess we could draw for him because he could also search for secret doors. Let's see, is he gonna search for secret doors or move? Okay, he's gonna do the secret door search. Whatever. There are no secret doors in this hallway. Literally corner to corner, the same described area. No secret doors. Robert Tylen, the Berserker, is next. Here he is. Justin says, I haven't been keeping track. Yeah, me neither. It's been a lot, though. I think every monster killed in this room so far has been a super dead. I might be remembering that wrong. Okay, let's see if we can keep up the streak here. Robert Tylen is going to attack this swamp goblin, and he would only need to get 2 skulls to keep that score going. Let's see if he does. He swings his broadsword, and indeed, rolls exactly 2 skulls, which is a skilled strike, which means super dead. That goblin is out of there. Okay, he has another action though, and this room hasn't been searched for anything, so let's see what he's going to do. Traps, secret doors, or treasure. He is going for traps. Now that he's already standing in the room, there are no traps in here. Monster's turn. We are going to move these guys that are in the hallway, especially now that Treyas is out in the hallway. Let's start with the mountain goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, frustratingly close. Didn't quite reach Traeus, but he is almost there. Now the Goblin Archer ought to be able to shoot at him. So remember, most heroes and monsters in my rules have a range of 6 squares. Sort of. Really, the hero or monster is standing in the center of a 13 by 13 square. And if anything that they're wanting to shoot at is within that area, and they could actually see it, they can shoot. That usually works out to 6 squares. So this guy ought to be able to move enough to get within 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, plenty. Go ahead and move the camera. So right where the Goblin Archer is at, he can go ahead and shoot. Actually, he's got a boomerang, so I guess we can say throw. The Goblin Archer throws his boomerang at Traeus, hitting Traeus with a critical hit of 2. Let me just make sure. Yep. Traeus attempts to defend and does not. Because who in the world would be watching for a boomerang in a dungeon? Nobody. So he for sure just got conked right in the side of the head. It is his turn now, though, so he can retaliate. Now, he's not going to be able to shoot at the guy who threw a boomerang at him, but he can surely do something about this goblin that's right next to him, at least. Traeus is going to fire with his wand at the mountain goblin. There, a couple squares from him, hits the mountain goblin with a 1, and the goblin does not defend. He may only be regular dead, but he's still dead. Justin says Zelda monsters. Yeah, Zelda monsters got to be looking out for a boomerang, that is for sure. Okay, there is no more searching to be done in this hallway, so we might as well get Traeus moving. The question is, which direction is he moving? Because he could go this way, but there is also a hallway out and around that corner. So, he's actually going to ignore. That's kind of surprising. He's not going for the Goblin Archer. He wants to know what's down this hallway over here. So 1 and 2. Now he can see what's down the hallway before he gets that corner square, but we know that corner square isn't trapped, so it's safe to go ahead and walk on. In the new hallway, we can see a wall, a door, and I hope this door is on camera. Yes, just barely. And another wall. This one's probably, yeah, it's just barely on camera. So really, it's just a long hallway with a door near the end. Okay, he's still got movement left. He doesn't have another action, but is he going to stop there since he doesn't know if that next square is trapped? Yes, he is going to stop right there. All right, back over here with Gramina. She can search for secret doors or she can leave. There's really no reason for her to go in there to search for treasure. She is indeed going to search for secret doors. As Gohan is quick to let us all know, Gramina, the master of secret doors, is always going to search for secret doors before she does anything else. Unfortunately, there are no secret doors in this area, so she can move out. I wonder where Gohan's at tonight. He's usually in here, but he must have... maybe he's doing his own stream, or maybe he's sleeping. Like a sane person would be right now, let's face it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Gramina is moving straight off camera. She's moved over into this blue room, and we're going to end her turn hanging out right there. Next is Sir Ragnar. Let's see if we can get rid of this Goblin Archer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're still on camera. Now, Ragnar does have a bow, but this is something that we've been trying to keep track of, and this was at Bohemius' suggestion, and I agree that the knight would rather be close range than long range. So he uses the bow in an emergency, but since he had the squares, we're going to run him right up to this guy. Ragnar swings his sword, but misses the Goblin Archer entirely. Unfortunate. Okay. Robert Tylan, meanwhile, is free to search this room for treasure before he leaves, so let's go ahead and get him doing that, see what he finds. Suddenly, the stone beneath his feet gives way. He falls into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. No fun. This drops him to 8 body points. And he's gonna leave. That's a pretty good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, which direction are we going to send him? He is actually going to go this way with Treyas. So we're kind of changing up the teams here. So we'll send Treyas and Robert Tylan up that way, and we'll send Gramina and Ragnar going this way. Okay, monster's turn. The only monster we have on the board is this archer. Now the archers attack a little worse when they're close range, so we should actually have this goblin move back at least one space so that it can benefit from its extra attack. This goblin throws a boomerang at Sir Ragnar, hitting him with a 1. Ragnar is currently benefiting from the rock skin, so there's no reason he shouldn't be able to defend this, except for that I just jinxed him by saying that. He does block it. Okay, good. My jinx powers are not working tonight, which is not a complaint. All right, back to Treyas in the corner. Now he stopped here because nothing had been searched. So again, let's force a trap search as the first thing. In this hallway, from the corner where he's standing to that wall up there, there are no traps. Okay, is he gonna search for secret doors or move? He's gonna move. Oh, and he got a good move too. He's probably gonna make it all the way to that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not quite to the door, but pretty close. All right, then coming back over here, actually we're still on camera, is Gramina. She's in the blue room there. Let's get her moving. And like we said, we're gonna send her down with Ragnar. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get close here. You can see her, but we can't really see what's going on. Now she also has a bow, so she can shoot at that goblin. Gramina puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires, hitting the goblin with a 1, which the goblin does not defend. Out it goes. Very nice. We are now at Ragnar, who can continue moving down this hallway. Now all of the stuff has been searched for, so really we're just trying to get them down to one of the 2 doors that are further down this hallway off camera. So let's just move him and see if we can at least get him onto the other camera. 6, not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We moved him off this camera. Is he on the other one? Nope. There he is. So he is headed for one of these doors down here. We'll see which one when he or Gramina get there. In the meantime, we are back over here with Robert Tylan the Berserker, who could search for secret doors or move. He's going to do the secret door search. So since he is adjacent to this hallway, he is looking into this hallway, he can see well enough to do a search. However, there are no secret doors in this hallway. There we go. That means his second action can be movement, so let's get it moving. Oh wow, 12. They're going quick tonight. Justin says he's fighting the urge to buy HeroQuest every day. Oh, I bet. I bet. I have had that urge many a time and have lost every single time. Thus my ridiculous amount of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Can't take his 12th movement because Treyas is in the way, but that's okay. I have multiples of just about everything too. Not literally everything, but just about everything, because as the Bard from Bardic Broadcasts would say, the only way to expand HeroQuest is with more HeroQuests. And I took that to heart. All right, that takes us to the monster's turn. We actually have no monsters on the board, so we are back to... Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have changed cameras. We're at Treyas, so he's up there. Let's get him moving. Also, another pretty good movement there. 1, 2. Let's get closer to the room here. So he is going to be opening the door into this blue room. In this room, he finds another door, a bookshelf, and again, this is one of the neater bookshelves. This is the Mage of the Mirror bookshelf, so it's kind of got like elven woodwork on it, which is really neat. Bookshelf there. And a Deep Femmer. I feel like it's actually been a little while since we've seen Deep Femmer. We were seeing them all the time there for a while. Femmers are, of course, a regular old Milton Bradley Hero Quest monster, something that they've gotten rid of, I think because it was copyrighted with Warhammer stuff, and it's no longer associated with Warhammer, but I still use them. Now this is a variant of a Femmer called a Deep Femmer, which means it was raised in the deep tunnels. It's mostly blind. It is very slow, but it attacks very hard. So another type of monster that you do not want hitting you. Justin says, I'm going to wait till the end of next month unless I see a really good deal that I'd be dumb to pass up. I totally understand. You're showing more restraint than I have been able to in the past. Atreus, looking into this room, is he going to search for traps or barge in there? He's barging. Let's see, he only moved 2, right? Yeah, because he was standing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are no traps in any of the squares that he stepped on, but he is up close and personal with a Deep Femmer, which probably doesn't really need any of his spells unless he starts struggling with it. Courage would be a decent option, and Sleep would be a decent option, but only if they struggle to kill it. Atreus swings his wooden staff at the Femmer, but misses. Whoops. Maybe my Jinx powers are working after all. All right, let's move to Gramina. Now, she is actually further down here. She is not on the camera currently. There she is, just barely. Let's move her on down so we don't have so much trouble getting her. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she can't take her 8th move because Ragnar is in the way. However, it is also Ragnar's turn. So let's go ahead and get him moving as well. Oh, he's only moving 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's no help, Ragnar. No help even a little bit. Back up to our other camera, we are now at Robert Tylan the Berserker, who's got a pretty good movement. 1, 2, 3. Is he going to stop and search for traps? Yes, he is. There are no traps in that room. Justin says, the video game I've been playing helps. If I hadn't already pre-ordered the Daggerheart expansion, I'd buy Hero Quest like yesterday. Yes, without a doubt. Yes, I bet that video game kind of helps you stave off the urges. Monster's turn. We just have that Deep Femmer that's already up in that room. It is in combat with Atreus. It is going to attack. Let me review stats, but I'm pretty sure it attacks with 4. Yes, that is correct. 4 attack, 3 defense, 2 body points. The Deep Femmer swings its axe, hitting Atreus with a 3. That is definitely not good. Atreus attempts to defend and does not defend any of them. 1, 2, 3. This actually drops him to 5 body points. Ooh, Atreus, we are early in the quest to be that low. Good thing he's got a couple of healing spells. Okay, that is the only monster on the board at the moment. So we are actually back to Atreus, who should at least try to physical attack again, because between those 2 heroes, I'd like to think that he's not going to need to use his spells. He swings his wooden staff, and for the 2nd turn in a row, misses that Deep Femmer. Come on, wizard. Okay, tell you what, it's probably not super necessary at the moment, but let's go ahead and have him cast his first heal body spell on himself. Since he's down pretty low, and he seems pretty intent on jumping headfirst into danger this quest, let's go ahead and make sure that he's not too low. He's going to cast heal body on himself. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That brings him back up to 9 body points. That's pretty good. And that takes us over to Gramina. Here she is, moving down the hallway towards the doors. Only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the slow team, I guess. Gramina and Ragnar are not in a hurry to get where they're going. Ragnar, anything better? Now you get a 12. Of course you do. All right, let's see. Do we draw him these doors? Yeah. Yeah. This is always a weird thing, too. Would a hero go for the first door they find, or should we be drawing to randomize which door they would open? maybe it's just me, but I feel like most players would just open that first door and see what's in there, right? Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Let me know, you guys, if you disagree. Should we be randomizing situations like this? Do we randomize which door Ragnar opens, or can we safely say that most players would probably just open the first door they come up to? For now, let's go ahead and have him do this, and then in the future we can change that if you guys agree it should be different. In this room right here, there is a weapons rack. Ooh, and this is actually a classic Milton Bradley weapons rack. I didn't keep much of the Milton Bradley furniture in here, but the new weapons rack and the old weapons rack look so similar that I just kept them both. We got that right there. Also in this room is a mountain orc. There we go. Hanging out right there. And a Chaos Warrior, the first one of this particular quest. Big old armored dudes with axes. These guys are essentially undead. They are enchanted with chaos magic by the evil demon Morcar, who was defeated several thousand years ago in our lore. Chaos magic has weakened, but there's just enough of it left that these guys are just kind of stuck roaming around. Ooh, Justin says there's still the $150 listing up for the base game and Mage of the Mirror. It's been there for 24 weeks. I might be able to talk them down to 100. Honestly, I'd try that. I maintain that that's a pretty good deal for the base game, and Mage of the Mirror is one of the bigger expansions, at least in terms of the amount of stuff it comes with. I'd say that's a pretty good deal, especially if you could talk them down a bit. All right, Ragnar, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on in this room. Is he going to stop and search for traps, or is he going to attack? He is indeed going to search for traps, and there are no traps in this room. Back up with our other fight. We are now at Robert Tylen, who can go in there and help. He's got a pretty good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Robert swings his broadsword at the Deep Femmer, hitting it with a 2, which is enough to get rid of it. And indeed, it does not defend. Very good. That brings us to the end of that turn, except we've got some monsters on the other end of the board now. We got this orc and this Chaos Warrior. Who's coming for Ragnar? It's going to be the orc first. Now this is just a regular run-of-the-mill orc here. The orc swings his sword at the knight, hitting him with a 2. Now Ragnar is still benefiting from rock skin, so let's make sure we give him his extra dice. And just barely he defends that attack. I did not think he was going to, but that last dice landed on a white shield at the last second. Very good, and that's all that we can do on this turn. So let's go back up to Treyas in the other room. Treyas is hanging out in the blue room here. He can search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave. He's going to search for treasure. There we go. Oh boy, he's found a wandering monster. Wandering monsters are pretty common throughout the treasure deck. Each quest has a different wandering monster. The one for tonight is a wasteland abomination. Now I do believe that we have not seen one of these yet. We've seen abominations, but I think we've only seen ocean abominations. I don't know that we've seen a wasteland abomination. Now, for now, it still just looks like the normal old guy here, because they're not painted yet. But wasteland abominations were raised or created in either deserts or like a Badlands type area. They have higher defense, but they are slower. He's going to pop out, and immediately, because he's a wandering monster, he gets to attack Treyas. Let me make sure I know how much they attack with. 3. Okay. 3 attack, 4 body points. No, sorry. 3 attack, 4 defense dice, 1 body point. Swings a claw at Treyas, hitting him with 2. Treyas blocks 1, but not the other, dropping him to 8 body points. Justin says, I'll think on it. I know I want First Light for sure, and I'm not convinced I need 2 base sets. Looks like a Sahagin from D&D, yes. Is that how you say that? Is that word pronounced Sahagin, or is it something else? I remember seeing those. I also grew up playing the very first Final Fantasy game on the NES, and they were in that. Yes, the Abomination was the replacement for the Femur when Avalon Hill released their version of the game. Since they couldn't use stuff associated with Warhammer, they got rid of any reference to chaos magic or chaos monsters. They got rid of Femurs. The Abomination was the replacement. So I went ahead and kept both. I've given them some weaker body points usually, since the name Abomination kind of implies that they were created and they shouldn't have been, so they're kind of easy to knock apart, theoretically. Alright, Treyas still has his second action left, so he might as well attack back. He swings his wooden staff, hitting the Abomination with a critical hit of 2. Yeah, that's right, 4 defense dice. High defense, but weak constitution. And it does not defend anything, so he basically just takes it right back out. Okay, let's check out our other team. Justin says, I've heard a lot of different ways. In Dungeons & Dragons Online, the narrator says, Sahuagin. Interesting. I mean, I guess there is a U in there. Weird. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody physically say it, now that I think about it. I've read it several times. Grimina, yeah, that's where we're at. Grimina is down here. She can help out in that room by shooting stuff. So we'll go ahead and let her shoot at this orc diagonally away from her. She loads an arrow into her crossbow and fires, hitting the orc with a 2. It defends one, but not the other. Takes it out. Rearrange my drawer just slightly. There we go. And then Ragnar himself, he does know there's no traps in there. There's only one monster, so he's not going to get surrounded. Let's send him in there. And this is a fairly strong monster, so I also think this may be a good time for one of his knight skills, Concentrated Attack. For the next 3 times he attacks, he is going to roll 2 additional attack dice. So he's quite powerful at the moment. Rock Skin and Concentrated Attack. But that Concentrated Attack only lasts for a little bit. So for his first Concentrated Attack, he swings his broadsword at the Chaos Warrior. Oh, hold on, that one didn't go down the dice tower. Hitting it with a 2. Didn't actually help him all that much, honestly. The Chaos Warrior doesn't defend them. It's not dead, but it took a pretty hard hit. Ooh, Bohemia says it's possible that in the next expansion, they're going to explain a little bit more about the Abominations. It's being rumored an aquatic expansion for a while. That would be really neat. That would definitely be neat to expand the lore, especially if they also kind of talk more about the drowned temple and stuff that's in the, what is that? That's in Spirit Queen's Torment, I think, where they're talking about a drowned temple full of friendly orc spirits. And if there's an aquatic expansion, it would be kind of neat to see if they do more with that and talk about the Abominations. That would be cool. I think the mini's really neat too, but it is annoying how they made it so big that it's kind of hard to fit it. I mean, there are spots that I find it hard to put them in on the 3D board, and the 3D board squares are like almost, well, not double the size of the regular boards, but 50% added on. What would that be? I guess that'd be 150% the size of the regular board squares. So the fact that they take up so much space is just a tiny bit annoying. That's a very nitpicky critique. But I do wish that maybe the spear they were holding didn't extend out so long. Let's see, we are back up with the other team. Yes, indeed. We are at Robert Tylan, who can either search for secret doors or leave. He's going to leave. There we go. 1, 2. He's going to open the door over into this green room. In the green room, we have an additional door up here in the corner. And in this new room, we have a table. Let's go ahead and put a carpet down. This is supposed to be a fortress after all. Doesn't have to be all dingy. And there is a table there on the carpet. And also another black femur. Or sorry, deep femur. I think I've explained that a couple of times. This was one of the first variants I ever introduced when I was young. I don't remember if I made it up or if I got it from somewhere, but I painted some of the femurs I had completely flat back black. I painted their axe, their skin, their armor, everything. It didn't make any sense at all, and spent years calling them black femurs. So occasionally I misname them that. I only recently changed it to deep femur and then added a whole bunch of other deep monsters. Bohemia says, I love them. They remind me of the fish monsters from the video game Castlevania King of Dragons. Nice. Yes. Absolutely. I feel like the abominations fit really well. There's been a couple of things they've added that I've questioned a little bit whether it felt Hero Questy. I do feel like the abominations fit. Considering they had to get rid of the femur and they couldn't use it, I think they did a really good job picking something else that didn't feel out of place. I played the original Castlevania. I don't think I played King of Dragons, but that sounds neat. Good old NES Castlevania. I never came anywhere near beating it. I was not that good at video games. But yes, okay, Robert Tylan barely moved, so is he going to stop there to search for traps? Yes, he is. No traps in the green room. All right, that takes us to the monster's turn. We're over here. We might as well have that deep femur go. Now again, deep monsters are mostly blind, so they don't move very well. And indeed, this deep femur will not make it to Robert Tylan. They can only move 2 spaces. But it's on the way. It can hear him. Yes, they are vintage monsters. Yeah, absolutely. Justin says, I just looked up femur artwork. Looks like something you would see in Dragon Quest. It doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. In other monsters' turn, we've got the Chaos Warrior over here fighting Ragnar. Now, Chaos Warriors hit really hard, but they have slightly weaker defense than Dread Warriors, being that they've been walking around this country for a long time. But they are still very powerful. Chaos Warrior swings its axe, hitting Ragnar with a 2. That could have been way worse. Ragnar at the moment is still benefiting from rock skin, so let's see if he defends. Indeed he does. Ragnar's doing really good with defense so far. I don't think he's been hit. No, he hasn't. Back over here, we need to get Treyas moving. Bohemia says they're a staple in all Castlevania titles. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. I just realized I've still got my teleport dice over there. We don't need those tonight. For a little while, my younger brother, I guess I should start with this. My younger brother is an amazing keyboard player. So it's a very musical family. My dad was a music teacher. I'm a music teacher. All 3 of us kids play like crazy. My younger brother, extremely talented keyboard player, and his main influence is video game music. So for a good period of time, we had a band that played video game songs. It was kind of like rock metal covers of video game songs, and we had a Castlevania medley near the end of that band's run that I really enjoyed. I was the drummer for that. And then he had some friends. So he's 7 years younger than me, and so he had some friends that were about his same age, and it was the 4 of them, and then me as the drummer, and they were called 4 Swords, and I was just kind of also there. But we did lots of Zelda music, lots of Mario music. We had a Mega Man medley and a Castlevania medley. I'm sure I'm missing other stuff. Yeah, I think we had a Harry Potter soundtrack medley too, because they were gonna dip into movies a little bit, and then we got that one good, and then I don't think we did any others. But that was a lot of fun for the whole time we did it. Justin says, I don't even know how to describe it. A humanoid one-eyed alligator with a weird tail. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Take a look at the mini here, and I think you can see that. Yeah, they have a really elongated face. They've got kind of like the end of a mace on their tail. Got some really weird armor, but a lot of skin showing. They're weird monsters. And yeah, they're one-eyed. Yeah. Where are we at? Treyas. Search for secret doors or leave. We might as well force that secret door search because we already asked Robert Tylan and he said no, essentially. No secret doors in that room, but somebody had to search it. And then we can get Treyas in there, ready to help out with that deep femmer. 1, 2, 3, and 4. He is ready to help out on the next turn. Bohemia says, even in Zelda, I believe, one of them gives you the flippers to swim. Yes! Yeah. They had the, even from the very first game, they had those monsters. Well, they were Evil Zora, I think, in the first game. But then in some of the later handheld titles, yeah, Link to the Past, you had the flippers. Seems like you might have had something like that in Link's Awakening, too, and probably the Oracle games. It's been too long now. Yeah, love the Zelda games. Oh, what do we got here? We just moved Treyas, so we need to switch over to Gramina. She needs to get in there and help with that Chaos Warrior. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll go ahead and get her close range. Gramina swings her broadsword at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. That was a good hit, because this thing's already damaged a little bit. And she does manage to take it out. Look at that. I'm sorry I ever made fun of you, dear dwarf. You are proving your usefulness. Justin says, I can beat Link to the Past in like 5 minutes. Learn the speed run for it. Nice. That is one of them that I've never beat. I've started it a couple of times, but I've never made it all the way through. I've beat several of the other Zelda games, but not that one. I like it just fine. Just I'm a little too ADHD, I think, with certain things. Ragnar, what do we got left to do in this room? Secret doors, treasure, or leave? What's he gonna do? He's gonna leave. 1, 2, 3. He didn't even hardly make it very far, but he's headed for that other door. And back up here we have Robert Tylan, who can hopefully get enough squares to get up to that deep femmer. Oh yeah, plenty. 1, 2, and 3. Justin says it's kind of tough, one of the harder Ganon fights, without a doubt. I think I got, one of the times that I started the game, I stopped playing it after Moldorm. I don't even think I beat Moldorm, because it just kept knocking me off the platform and I'd fall down to the floor below. And I got so frustrated that I decided to take a break and then just never came back to it. One of the times. Robert Tylan on the deep femmer. He swings his broadsword, hitting the femmer with a 2. And it doesn't defend either of them, so he actually got rid of it in one try. I think he did that in the last room too, didn't he? It's Robert Tylan, Bane of the Femmers. Or Femmer Bane, I guess. Bohemia says, Link to the Past is my favorite. Oh, absolutely. Justin says he breaks the floor. Yeah. That is fantastic there. That's probably the first Zelda game I ever played. Now, we had the NES growing up, and we had the gold Zelda cart. Was Link's Adventure also a gold cart, Zelda 2? I don't remember. We had both of those. But I don't think I tried one until we had Link to the Past on the SNES. The first one I really clearly remember playing is Ocarina of Time. Of course. By everybody in my age group. That's bound to have been the first one I ever beat as well. No monsters on the board, so we are back to Treyas, who's already standing up there. What do we need to do? Search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave? He's going to search for treasure in this room. See what he finds. Another wandering monster. We're hitting the piles wandering monsters here. So as before, the wandering monster in this quest is a wasteland abomination. Let's go ahead and use the alternate abomination sculpt. It looks like this. Much scarier. This was a Mythic tier exclusive. You can get this many, but they're translucent now. So the regular green version of this was a Mythic tier exclusive. And that was Treyas. So he's gonna pop out right here. That's the second room in a row Treyas has searched and gotten a wandering monster. The Wasteland Abomination swings a claw at Atreus, hitting him with a 1. And he blocks it, but just barely. Zelda 2 is gold, yes. And Justin says Zelda movie is less than a year away. I did see that. I saw that. I'm so nervous. Gosh, I'm nervous. Because I want so badly for it to be good. But the odds are so low, I feel like. I did like both of the Mario movies, I'll say that. Lots of people have been giving the Mario movies crap, and I understand a lot of the criticisms, but I had plenty of fun with both of them. Actually, the Mario Galaxy movie just came available on streaming today, so we were watching part of that before we put the kids to bed. Good to see that, because we only got to see it in theaters the one time. And both our kids are young yet, so they don't do super well in a theater, so I was very distracted when we were watching it. Justin says, at worst, it will be just okay. I doubt it will be terrible. I hope that you are right. Because I'm really looking forward to it, and that's going to make it a real crushing blow if it's bad. But I think they know what they're doing. Again, they failed so hard with the early 90s Mario movie that I think they are being very careful to do things right now. Okay, Atreus. And again, that was his first action, so again, he can attack back. And just like last time, he might just get rid of this guy. Atreus swings his wooden staff and hits the Abomination with a 1. Still possible that he gets rid of it. But it blocks. That's good. Those things aren't supposed to be easy to kill. Back over here, we are at Gramina, who is left in this room alone, which means she needs to do both of the other searches, Secret Doors and Treasure. Let's just see which order she does them in. She's going to do Secret Doors first, because it's Gramina, so of course she's going to do Secret Doors first. There are none in this room. And then she will do Treasure. And this room is the Armory. The first hero to search for treasure in this room will find a shield on the weapons rack. I don't think she can use that. I mean, we'll put it in her inventory either way, but I'm pretty confident that the Explorer can't use a shield. That is correct. That's a shame, because she could use, I mean, she's already got better defense than everybody else, but we'll stick that in the Armory and she can give that to somebody later. Or sorry, stick that in her inventory and she can pass it off to somebody. Justin says the old Mario movie was a mess. I watched a video about how it was made and it was rough. I bet that exact same video talking about how things were getting changed every day and the directors were a husband and wife and like nobody liked them. Yeah. Justin says I had Xavier watch it and she was like, how was this movie allowed to happen? Nintendo had next to no involvement. I think that's why they entrenched themselves in the newer Mario movie. Makes a lot of sense. All right, moving on here. Gramina used up both her actions, so we are now at Ragnar, who needs to head off towards that green room. Now he can't disarm this trap that's in the corner, and there's really, at this point, there's no reason for him to step over it. So, until we know what's going on in this green room. So we'll go ahead and move him 1, 2. We'll open the door into the green room, and indeed we are offered a potential way past that trap without disarming it. But also in this room is 2 swamp orcs. We got one right here and one right here. Is he going to stop and search for traps? No, he is not. He's going to bound right in there, and he only moved 2, I think. Yeah, 1, 2. So which orc is he going for? 3, 4. Luckily, no traps on either of those squares. This is going to use up the next of his concentrated attacks right here. Ragnar swings his broadsword at the swamp orc, hitting it with a 3, which is not a critical hit, but it is a skilled strike, which means that swamp orc is super dead. Justin says, I have fun watching it in a weird, I like it because it's so bad sort of way. Yeah, this is true. I haven't watched it for a long time. I think I have it on DVD. But yeah, I haven't bothered with it for a long time. What do we got? Okay, that was Ragnar, so we are at Robert Tylan up here, who might as well come over here and help with the Wasteland Abomination. Just get him up a little bit closer. The Berserker swings his broadsword, hitting the Abomination with a 1. Again, it's possible that that gets rid of it. But it blocks. Again, I'm kind of glad. Those things aren't supposed to be easy to kill. Okay, that brings us to the monster's turn. Now, that Abomination cannot attack because it's already attacked on this turn. It attacked way earlier on this turn, but it has had an attack on this turn cycle. So we are going to go down to the room with the Mountain Orc, who can attack Ragnar. The Orc swings its mace, hitting Ragnar with a 1. He's still benefiting from Rock Skin. And he blocks it just barely. 1 white shield right at the very end of the roll. Same with the Zelda cartoon. Yeah. Oh man. The footage from the bit of cartoon and footage from those CDI games are, I mean, just fantastic. Exactly like you were saying, in a this is awful sort of way. All right, back up to Treyas in the other room. He is here fighting this Wasteland Abomination. Treyas swings his wooden staff and misses the Abomination. All right, now the guy is overstaying his welcome just a little bit. What else can we do? This room hasn't been searched for secret doors. Treyas is going to use his second action to take care of that. There are none, but at least they know now. Okay. Going back down here, we are at Gramina, who's still in this room. That room has been searched for everything, so she can head out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Just enough squares to get over to this mountain orc. Gramina swings her broadsword and hits the orc with a 1. Ooh, buddy. The orc does not defend, so she does actually get rid of it. Bohemian says, is it another change of yours for the balance because the adventurer can equip the shield? Yes, must be. Must be something that I changed. Honestly, there's so many things I've forgotten kind of what I have and what I haven't. I know it's in that document. But yes, I think I was feeling like the explorer should always travel light and a shield would potentially be too much to be carrying on there. And again, to balance, make sure the defense stats are balanced. I forget now if the explorer ends up with the same defense total as the dwarf. It might be a little less. In fact, it's surely a little less total defense dice that the explorer can eventually rack up just because the explorer should be traveling light. More interested in exploring the dark tunnels than attacking. Yeah. Right, Ragnar, what do we got going on? We haven't searched this room for anything. So, Ragnar, traps, secret doors, or treasure, or leave, since Gramina's in there. He is going to do treasure. Awesome. Let's see what he finds. Underneath a loose stone in the floor, Ragnar finds 15 gold. Awesome. Oh, that's right. I was like, wait a minute, I erased the gold. Yeah, it's because we don't have any. I guess we've got 15 now. Second action, Ragnar. Trap, secret doors, or leave. He's gonna leave. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So no need to search for traps now. They've stepped on every relevant square and not triggered anything. He's gonna go ahead and open this door. And now we need to talk about this hallway. Go ahead and move my camera so that we can see. Showing off the quest map there a little bit. There is a wall right up here, so we can't go any further up that way. And there is nothing else to show. Is he going to stop right here since this hasn't been searched for traps? Yes, he is. He doesn't have the action to search it, but he's not moving out there until somebody does it. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my randomizer deck real quick. Okie dokie, that takes us over to the Berserker, who is still trying to get rid of that Wasteland Abomination. The Berserker swings his broadsword, hitting the Abomination with a 1. Guys, you gotta hit that thing harder than that. It keeps defending those. And again, it defends it. That thing is holding on. It was just a wandering monster. Wasn't even meant to be there, and it is holding on hard. Can we do any other searches? No, that is actually it. So we're going to have to sacrifice his second action and go to the monster's turn. The only monster we have on the board is that guy, but he can't attack this turn. Who's he going to attack? He is actually going to attack the Berserker, correctly assessing him as being the bigger threat. The Abomination swings its claws, hitting the Berserker with a 1. Yes. Which he blocks. Very much blocks. So we're just at a total stalemate over here. Nobody can hit anybody. Okay, Atreus. Atreus the Wizard right here in the corner, trying to get rid of this guy. Can we at least get a hit? Atreus gets a 1 with his wooden staff. Are we going to get lucky with this 1 skull? Okay, finally we've gotten lucky. He manages to get a hit on the Abomination, breaking it apart. It is gone. No more searching to be done in this room. Atreus is going to head out towards that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He's going to open the door up into this blue room. And in here we have another door. Right there. There is a torture rack. So we're not going to put a carpet under a torture rack. We'll go ahead and put a dirt floor right there. Yeah, we're going to put the torture rack here. You got to spruce up the place. And when people come to visit, they can say, wow, your torture rack is really nice. We have here Wasteland Orc in this room. Wow, I like the scent too. What is that? Is that lilac? Yeah. Okay, Atreus, are we stopping to search for traps? He doesn't have the action to do it, but no, he's not. Now, he only had 1 more movement, but we'll go ahead and move him into this room with 1. There's no trap on that particular square, but he can't do anything else. Justin says, is the level up system something you added? Yes, definitely. I noticed at least in the base game, the monsters don't really get too tough. So do you also scale up the monsters? Yes, yes to both. So I added a pretty detailed skill set leveling system, and eventually, now I know we're not at that point yet, but when we start getting into the second book, part of our quest setup is going to be, I'm going to count the number of skill set points, whatever 4 heroes we're taking into the quest, the total of skill set points that those 4 have, go up to a scaling chart over here, and if they're pretty experienced, the monsters start getting harder. So this allows us to kind of dynamically level the monsters as well, so that if we have one, a later quest and some pretty experienced heroes, but like 1 or 2 of them are brand new, it might bring the monsters back down just a little bit so that they're not ridiculous and they're not just massacring the new heroes. So yes to both, but that's all stuff I added. And I will say, even though that stuff doesn't exist in regular Hero Quest, they've still done a really good job with coming up with new stuff that makes sense, considering there's kind of a cap as far as how good the heroes can get, and therefore how good they can make the monsters before it's overkill. Somebody, both back in the Milton Bradley days and now, is doing a really good job of keeping track of that. Okay, so Atreus walked up into that blue room. Let's come back down here. Gromina. No point in searching for traps now. They've stepped on every relevant square, but she can search for secret doors or leave, and I think we all know what she's going to do. Oh, I can't believe it. The cards have determined she's going against her character traits, and she is leaving the room without searching for secret doors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is she going to stop here and search for traps? No, she is not. 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, no traps on any of those squares. Now, usually I would chastise a hero for not searching for traps before they walk into an area. That is, by and large, a real dumb thing to do. However, because of her trapsmith skill, she is the best hero to potentially do that, because I would have to tell her if she's adjacent to a trap. So it's actually really hard for the explorer to step on a trap, unless the Zargon is not paying close enough attention and forgets to say something. Okay, Ragnar is starting to get left behind here in this green room. Since he is the last hero in there, we're going to force a secret door search, and there are none. But now this is something that's also a little bit weird because we probably should. It's entirely possible that a player would forget to search for secret doors and have to come back, but mostly because of the stream, we don't want to have to spend a bunch of turns where most of the quest is done and the heroes are having to roll to get back to a room they forgot to search. So we just make sure that everything is searched in a room before we move on so that we're not wasting a bunch of time coming back to it. Okay, Ragnar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we can see now into this hallway that is up here. We have one more move. We've got a couple of things to place here. There is a wall right here, and there is a door right here. Yeah, that's all he can see. And he can go ahead and finish his movement. We know that. No, nobody searched for traps. So yeah, the whole movement was something he shouldn't have done, but oh well. He already used up his other action, so he can't search for anything anyway. So he's done there. We need to go back over here to the Berserker, who is still hanging out in the green room over here. Anything left to search in the green room? Nope. We need to get him up there to that orc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? No, he is not. 6, 7. Darn it, I said the thing. How does that happen? The number of times you talking about we should have had a super dead counter. We're going to need a 6, 7 counter too. I'm not saying it on purpose, but the number of times in these quests that I have rolled a 7 or higher and then something happens after I say 5 that I have to pause. It's wild. Okay, Robert can attack this Wasteland Orc. He swings his broadsword, hitting it with a 2. This is a Wasteland Orc, so it has a little bit higher defense than normal. It does not defend anything, so it is dead. Bohemia says the Avalon Hill team is making the expansions balanced so they can be played with a new set of heroes every time, but they are giving a lot of hints on how to make the game more complex and scale up the difficulty of the monsters, leaving it all open to the players to play it in the way they want. Yes, so they are balancing something that is arguably just about impossible, and I feel like they're doing a really good job of it. So you can play it as written with your leveled up heroes, well, not leveled up heroes, but geared up heroes, or you can play it with brand new heroes, or you can introduce rules to make stuff harder. Yeah, I mean, they've done a really fantastic job of keeping it Hero Questy in that way. Keep it simple. That's the whole point. We're not getting crazy, but if you want, there is a whole lot of room to add a whole ton of your own stuff to make this as complex or as simple as you'd like, which is, I think, one of the biggest appeals of Hero Quest just in general. Okay, that was it for Robert's turn right there, which means technically it would be the monster's turn, but we don't have any monsters on the board. So it is now Treyas, and this blue room has not been searched for anything. So traps, secret doors, treasure, or leave. He's gonna leave. 1, so again, this means no point in searching for traps. They've stepped on every relevant square and didn't trigger anything. He's gonna open this door. And good, we can already see the entire area we need to. Over here, there is a couple of walls. There's a wall pretty much right in front of where he's standing, and there's another wall really close. This is just a tiny little baby hallway. And there is another door right here. Okay, Treyas, are we gonna stop and search for traps in this hallway? No, you only move 1. So 2, 3, 4. Luckily, none of those squares are trapped. We'll go ahead and have him open the door into the central room. I'll adjust the camera a little bit so you guys can see the central room. Oh. I don't know why I have so much trouble getting that camera placed. There we go. I need to watch the camera physically instead of watching the OBS screen. Okay, we got another door here. We've got another door here. We've got a table We'll go ahead and put a carpet down for this table. There we go. Oops. We've also got a throne. The Chaos Warrior in this room must be a little bit vain. A throne right there. And then we've got some monsters. We've got 2 deep goblins. So again, the deep monsters are slow, but they hit really hard. We got a deep goblin up here and another deep goblin down here. There is also a deep orc and a mountain orc. So we better do something to differentiate these guys. We'll use an Avalon Hill for the mountain orc, which is right here. And then we also have a deep orc, and we'll use a Milton Bradley guy for that so I can keep track of which one's which. Deep orc down here. And a Chaos Warrior. Theoretically the boss of this quest. And another one that I made an attempt at painting when I was very young. This one's maybe not quite so offensive as some of the other ones I attempted to paint. Definitely not complete, but you know, could be better, could be worse. Bohemia says, on the app, you can give special skills to the monsters. For now, only goblin and skeletons, but you can bump up the stats of all the monsters, even double up wandering monsters. Nice, that makes sense. That's an easy way to just boost the difficulty a little bit. Justin says, so are the Milton Bradleys, do they all have square bases? Yeah. Really, it's a little bit more rectangular if we're being nitpicky, but yes, Avalon Hill are all circular bases, and Milton Bradley are all those kind of like square rectangular bases. The Milton Bradley monsters are also just a little bit smaller in general. There's a specific size for those. I'm blanking the specific stats, what those numbers are, you know, a certain number of millimeters, I think. Because a lot of the Etsy people that 3D print things, you can specify whether you want it to be original HeroQuest size or new HeroQuest size, which is also really thoughtful of those people. Justin says, okay, I thought you had them all memorized. No. Well, no, you know, actually, I probably do. Now that I think about it, you could test me on that, I bet, and I would know which one we're looking at. There's a lot less variety, honestly, in the Milton Bradley stuff. But I'm pretty sure I'd recognize any of them. All right, so we got a big room full of uh-oh right there that Trace has just opened. Now he has a little bit left, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 3 movements left. There's really no reason he should go in there. Did he search anything? No, he just left. So he does have an action. What's his best option? Searching for traps is definitely on the list. Casting Courage right now would be a really smart idea for him. So this would mean he would get 2 extra attack dice for the entire time that they're fighting the monsters in this room, as long as he doesn't run away, because he has to be able to see a monster for that spell to stay in effect. Yeah, honestly, I think that's probably his best bet. I think we're going to do that. Atreus is going to cast his Courage spell on himself. I don't know that we've ever really showed this card to the camera. This spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself. This spell grants the targeted hero 2 extra attack dice. This spell is broken the moment the targeted hero can no longer see any monsters. So this is a pretty good spell for the wizard to boost the attack for just a little bit. Oh good, Bohemius knows that. 25 millimeters for Milton Bradley and 32 millimeters for Avalon Hill. Yes. Just says that's the same scale for old school D&D minis and modern minis. Nice, that makes sense. That's probably why Avalon Hill updated it. Makes sense. Put it on scale with current D&D stuff. Okay, that was Treus's stuff. Hey, I just realized we're running the wizard first, just like Bohemius was suggesting. Was that just last night we were talking about that? I think so. That was just how the cards pulled it, but we're running the wizard first. Let's jump over to the other side of the map to see what's going on. Gramina and Ragnar are also closing in on that location. We're pretty close to the end here. We're not quite up on it, but Gramina is down here in the corner. Well, first off, nothing has been searched in this hallway, so we know she's going to move, but is she going to search for traps first? No, you know what? It'd be dumb to search for traps in this hallway. They've already stood on every square. Secret doors or move? She's going to do secret doors. Yeah, well, she skipped it in the last room. She probably forgot. No secret doors in this hallway. Let's get her on the move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is she going to stop because nobody searched for traps? Yes, she is. Ragnar. Now, he didn't stop there because of traps. He stopped because he ran out of movement. So is he going to search for traps or secret doors or move? He's searching for secret doors. Okay. There are none in this hallway. Now, traps or move. He's going to do traps. So he just took his whole turn doing searches. Also no traps in this hallway. Kind of an uneventful turn for the two of them. Okay, back over here, we are now at Robert Tylan, and again, nothing has been searched in that blue room, and even though Treyas is going to need some help over here, we need to get searching in this blue room. So again, no point in searching for traps. They've stepped on every relevant square. So is it going to be secret doors or treasure? He's starting with a secret door search. There are none. Let's go ahead and use his other action to search for treasure, so we can just get this blue room taken care of. Oh boy, this is a lot of text. Robert finds himself drawn to an odd stone statue in the back of the room. The statue depicts a horrifying amalgamation of monster limbs forming a bipedal creature of some sort. Only the face almost looks like his face. You reach toward the face, and just as your fingers brush its surface, a spear bursts from the statue's chest. You leap back just in time. As the spear retracts, the statue crumbles to pieces, leaving behind a pile of 50 gold coins. Wasn't expecting that. Well, I mean, I was, because I could see the card. But that's a weird outcome. That puts us up to 65 coins total. Justin says, not that it matters much functionally as long as the bases cover the correct amount of squares on the board. Yes, and Bohemius agrees, yep. I 3D printed mine 28mm scale to look better close to all the other minis of the 2000 era. Yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, it's a good kind of in-between, because despite the fact that the Milton Bradley ones are only 25, I mean, you can tell that they're a little smaller, but they don't look inappropriate when they're put next to each other, I don't think. Or at least not enough that your imagination can kind of fill in the blanks for monsters just being a different height, just like normal people are in real life. So 28's a good middle ground in there too. All right, monster's turn. Okay, could be messy, but I don't think it really is gonna be. Since the only hero that they can get to is Treyas, only one of them is going to be able to go over there. Now, theoretically, we could send a monster outside. We could send a monster out this door and send it out this way up towards Grimina and Ragnar. But let's not do that. Let's just kind of concentrate everybody right here. So first off, which monster is going to go over there to attack? It would make the most sense for it to be this deep goblin that's up here closest to him. In fact, the other monsters would all have to move through the other ones. Let's just go ahead and do that. Deep Goblin moves over here to Treyas. Deep Goblin swings its sword, hitting Treyas with a 2. Treyas defends the attack. Good job, wizard. Justin said, so say a 2-square monster goes into a hall, are they sidestepping through it? Yeah, yeah. I think they tried to make it so that that's probably not going to happen, but absolutely, yeah, they'd have no choice but to sidestep. And there are 2-square monsters. There's also 4-square, at least one 4-square monster. The Frozen Horror himself is a massive, massive mini. So I guess he just can't go in the hallway. Now, in the original Milton Bradley, he was a 2-square, so he could have. But the Avalon Hill guy is massive. All right, back to Treyas. We might as well get some stuff done in here. Now, again, he has his courage spell active, so he can attack this goblin a little bit harder. So he's going to be swinging his wooden staff, but with the power of courage. That means he's throwing 4 attack dice. Hitting the goblin with a 3 And this is a deep goblin. There's no boost to defense. That guy is super dead. There we go. What do we have here? Now, Treyas can walk into that room, but it hasn't been searched yet, so we should probably ask him if he's going to do that. So, searching for traps or walking into the room. He's going to search for traps. He might be courageous, but he's not dumb. No traps in the room. Back over here, we've got Gramina and Ragnar on the move down the hallway, theoretically towards the door that's hanging out right here. Gramina first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. She opens the door into this blue and black room to find a cupboard, which on the top just kind of looks like a bookshelf, but on the front you can tell it's a different thing. And also a Chaos Warrior. Oh, I feel like I've got to sneeze, like almost there. It's so frustratingly close. Okay, Gramina, are we searching for traps? No, she's not. She is walking right into that room to take care of this guy. I'm pretty sure she had enough moves to do that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, she does. Gramina swings her sword at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. It blocks one, but takes the other. Oops. 2 square monsters got to make sure they suck in that gut to get down the 1 square halls. Yes. Oh, yeah. And there are some big guys, too. I'll show you one of them just for the sake of it. Way down the line, we're going to get into a book full of ogres. And one of the big ogre guys you got to fight is this guy right here, which I believe is an ogre champion. A big dude with lots of really cool details. And yeah, I mean, imagine this guy having to just kind of like sidle his way down here. Yeah. That would be a lot less scary for Ragnar, I feel like. Bohemia says they don't look bad, but they are 2 different styles. The old are heroic scale, exaggerated features, big hand, heads, and weapons. The new ones are true scale, more realistic. Avalon Hill created a good blend between heroic and true. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably why so many people had that like visceral reaction to the Avalon Hill minis too, just because we were used to those like exaggerated features. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay. Yeah, Gramina moved and attacked, so we are now at Ragnar. He's got 1 concentrated attack left, so he really needs to get down there and use it. Good, he got 11. That's plenty to get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, as long as he's not going to stop and search for traps right here. Okay, he's not. 8, 9, 10. Luckily no traps right there. So this is going to be his last concentrated attack, which has him swinging with 5 dice. He swings his broadsword at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. This is enough to kill it as long as it doesn't defend anything. And it doesn't. Nice, they didn't have any trouble at all with that guy. Between the 2 of them, just some good teamwork. Oh, here we go. I lost his drawer there for a second. Back over here, Robert Tylan has finally finished doing stuff in that blue room, so he can come down here to help. And they also know that there are no traps in that central room now, so he can just kind of barge in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, unfortunately, let's see. Is that smart? He can't go any further than that. He doesn't have long range, so he can't shoot. He's almost certainly going to get surrounded on all 3 sides. Does he have the body points to survive that? He's got 8, so there's a good chance he'd survive that. Plus, again, the lower on body points he goes, the more of his stuff he can use. I'll tell you what, this is absolutely a risk, but let's leave him there. I feel like a Berserker would be kind of interested in activating his skills that only activate when he's low on body points. Okay, Now he can go ahead and search for secret doors since he's here and he can't reach any of the monsters. There aren't any, but just so we're not wasting his second action. Monster's turn. The only monsters we have are the ones in this central room, and like I mentioned, we will probably surround Robert Tylan. Now I did forget that these guys, both this goblin and this orc, are deep monsters which are slow, so they may not reach him. But this is a mountain orc, it's definitely getting over there. Mountain orc swings its mace, hitting the berserker with a 2. He blocks both. Okay, maybe we don't have to worry about anything anyway. Let me review. How much does a deep goblin move? Only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost got there, but not quite. And then a deep orc is surely almost nothing. Only 4 for a deep orc. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Chaos Warriors, I'm pretty sure, can move 7. Yeah, because I left that stat alone. So it's probably still not going to get over there because it can't move through a table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Okay, so I was a little bit I overstated how much of a risk leaving Robert Tylan in there was. Actually, it wasn't a big deal. Dreas. All right, we're here. They've powered themselves up. He might as well charge in there. They know there's no traps. There's a risk for being surrounded, but he's got extra good attack. That dice didn't really land very good. Let's get him in there and actually doing some stuff. 1, let's see, 2, maybe we ought to leave him in the corner. Justin says, do you have a Milton Bradley and an Avalon Hill hero to see the difference on the size and style? Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull this out here real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at, yeah, we can see both barbarians. I'm going to switch the camera here over to this one too. So right here we have the Milton Bradley Barbarian, so the classic HeroQuest Barbarian, and then right next to him is the Avalon Hill Barbarian. So yeah, well, you can tell if you're looking that the Milton Bradley Barbarian is a little shorter, but not by a huge amount. I mean, they still look fairly comparable. But you can see also what Bohemius is talking about as far as the face being exaggerated. If you compare the size of the face of the two minis, the Milton Bradley one is way bigger. Yeah. Now it'll be hard to tell since we're doing top-down view on the actual board. They pretty much look the same when they're standing next to each other like that. And I don't know that I could get down. Let's see if I can point it at them, sort of. I can point it at them. Let me put them a little further back. The camera will be a little bit more effective maybe if we put them back there. Let's get them in the blue room, actually. Yeah, so on the board, again, like there's clearly a difference, but it's not big enough to be distracting, I don't think. I need to put some classic HeroQuest heroes in here too. I've kept a lot of the classic monsters, but I did not keep the classic heroes. I need to get some of them back in the rotation. Okay, back to our battle here. Dreas moved into the room and then hasn't done anything. Now, I don't think he can fire at the Chaos Warrior right now because that goblin is standing in front of him. His options really are this mountain orc or that deep goblin that's coming. Let's go ahead and have him do the deep goblin because Robert Tylan's probably going to get rid of that mountain orc. It's not a huge threat considering he's swinging more than normal, but it's not like he's going to lose it until he loses sight of a monster. So first off, he is going to send a blast of energy at the goblin. This blast of energy is powered up by his courage, and he hits that goblin with a 2, which I think is still a skilled strike, right? Yes, indeed it is. That goblin is super dead. All right, coming back over here to Grumina in the blue and black room. This room has not been searched for anything. Now they don't need to search it for traps unless there is a secret door in there. So secret doors, treasure, or leave. It's leave. Amina's not super interested in some searches this time. Probably what she's interested in is getting in on this battle over here, is what it kind of seems like. 1, 2, 3. Now this hallway has not been searched for anything yet, so is she going to stop here and search? Yes, she is going to search for traps. Let me go ahead and describe the area that is being searched here. From where she is standing, around the central room, and up to this wall and door over here, there is one trap, and it is a pit trap right here in this corner. So theoretically avoidable pit trap right there. Okay, Ragnar. Now he, being the last one in this room, we were not going to let him leave without searching for stuff. So secret doors or treasure? He's doing treasure first. Oh, that's another one with a lot of text on it. As you search, you accidentally step on a raised stone that triggers some sort of trap. From the ceiling, 2 wooden panels spring open and an armored skeleton falls from it, suspended by chains attached to each of its limbs. Coins fall from a pouch on the skeleton's belt. Gathering them all, you pick up 50 coins. Nice. So that puts us up to 115 coins. Justin says, I know it's probably a pain, but when you were getting the camera in close, you had sort of isometric view that looked really good. Nice, yeah. I was having to physically hold the camera in place right there. I don't think the stand would allow the camera to stay like that, because that would be neat. The sort of like almost on the level with the hero's view is a little bit better than the top down, honestly. Someday we'll get some more sophisticated equipment in here and get the perfect camera shot. All right, that was both of Ragnar's actions, right? No, he did treasure first, so now we're gonna have him do secret doors, and there are none, so we know he can leave. We are back to Robert Tylan in the central room, which again, let's see if we can get closer. This camera in particular really dislikes going close. There's something to do with those springs that it won't let it stay down. Okay, Robert's dealing with this orc. Let's just go ahead and have him continue dealing with that orc. He's still at a pretty good amount of body points, so we might have him do his enrage skill when it comes to that Chaos Warrior. For now, I think he's okay. So Robert Tylan swings his broadsword at the mountain orc, hitting it with a 1. And it does not defend. That was lucky. I kind of thought that he wasn't going to be successful there. Mountain orc means it should be in this drawer right here. Okay, now with his second action, there's no searching to be done. So I think let's just kind of send him up here towards the Chaos Warrior. Monster's turn. We've got just these 2 in here. They've actually dispatched this room pretty efficiently. So let's do the Chaos Warrior attacking him. Chaos Warrior swings attacks at the Berserker, hitting him with a 3. Whoa, he defends all 3. That is unlikely. Only 3 dice and we got white shield on all 3 of them. Total defend. That was a shutdown right there. That guy's not getting hit. And then we got the Deep Orc. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We might as well send him up towards Treyas. And again, this is a Deep Orc, which means higher attack. The Deep Orc swings. It's got a broken sword there. I did say they were blind. He probably doesn't know his sword's broke. He swings the nub of his sword and hits the wizard with a 1. Treyas defends, but just barely. Okay, back to Treyas, who again is powered up by Courage. He swings his wooden staff at the Deep Orc, hitting it with a 2. The orc does not defend. It is dead. What else can Treyas do? We might as well just move him up to the Chaos Warrior as well. 1, 2, 3. And then we need Gramina, and she is actually on camera. We don't need to change camera. She's right over here. We've rolled, but let's also ask if she's going to search for secret doors in this area. She is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. She didn't quite reach the door to get in there. I don't think they're going to need her help, but she's technically on the way. And then they've only got a couple more rooms to take a look in after this. Ragnar. Now we do need to switch the camera for Ragnar. He's in this blue and black room, and there is nothing else to do in there. So let's also get him moving very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then Robert Tylan attacking this Chaos Warrior. So let's do something special here so we can give him a little bit better chance of killing this guy. Robert can use his Enrage skill. As an action, you may lose up to 2 body points to immediately make an attack, even if you have already attacked this turn. Add additional attack dice equal to the number of body points you lose. So actually, I forgot that it functions that way. We might as well do a normal attack first, and then use that so that we can attack again. Robert swings his broadsword at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. And it doesn't defend either one of those. They may not have a hard time getting rid of this guy after all. And then we're going to use Robert's Enrage skill, and we're going to go ahead and let him lose the full 2 body points. This is going to drop him to 6, but it allows him to make a second attack, this time hitting with 5 dice. Hitting the Chaos Warrior with an additional 3, and this is almost definitely a death sentence, because he is going to have to get all 3 black shields to survive this. Now that I've said it, it would be pretty crazy if it happens. So let's see, the Chaos Warrior attempts to defend, but doesn't get a single black shield. That may not be technically super dead, but that sounds pretty super dead. Okay. Yeah, they cleared that room really efficiently. And that was both his actions, attack and then enrage attack. So monster's turn, except there are no monsters on the board, so we are now at Atreus, and his courage spell is gone now that there are no monsters in the room. All that's left is to search for treasure. So are we doing that, treasure or leave? He is indeed going to search for treasure. I kind of wish it hadn't been him, actually, because there's a special treasure in here and he can't use it. The Chaos Warrior in this room was holding a magic sword. The first hero to search for treasure in this room, once the monster is dead, will find the Orc's Bane artifact. Now, I changed this artifact just a little bit to make it a little bit more useful. Orc's Bane is used as a close-range weapon. When using this magical short sword, you roll 2 attack dice. If you are attacking an orc, you may roll 4 attack dice. So it's kind of the same thing as the original weapon. The original weapon allowed you to attack twice if you were attacking an orc. I just felt like it was a little bit more useful to go ahead and throw 4 all at once. So yes, now Atreus can't use this because it's a short sword. So again, we'll have to have him pass that off. Now he could give it to Robert Tylan, but it would be a downgrade. Is there anybody that would benefit from having this? We're gonna have to do some research on this. Anybody that we would be okay with having less attack unless they're hitting an orc. Now again, we could sell this if it's not gonna be any use, but we'll check it out. We'll see what we get. Okay, Atreus can also move. Let's see, now they don't know for sure that there is nothing out this way. It kind of connects everything. That door up there is kind of the obvious way to go, but let's go ahead and draw him and just kind of see what he gets. Yeah, he is going to try that other door. 1, 2, 3, 4. He opens the door and, well, hey, Gramina. Didn't expect to see you there. Is he going to stop right there? Now, he knows this square right in front of him isn't trapped, so he could go ahead and move out onto that. But if he's intending to search this hallway, there's really no reason to step down there. He doesn't have the action to do anything yet anyway. All right, Gramina, it is actually her turn, and she could go ahead and fulfill the search that he was about to do. We need to know if there is anything in this double wide hallway right here. So let's go ahead and have her search this for secret doors. And there is actually nothing down there. There's no reason to go down there. Let's get Gramina moving on down, because they need to go out that other door. Now also, there's a pit trap right here, and Gramina could get rid of it pretty easily, or we could just circumvent that area and open this door without having to worry about stepping on the trap or taking any damage. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. She doesn't quite make it to the door. Then we know Ragnar. Yeah, he's over here. They're all kind of converging here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he can't take a 7th move because Treyas is in the way. Back over here we have Robert Tylan in the middle room, set up to go ahead and go out that door. 1 and 2. He opens the door here. Now he still can't quite see this hallway, but also this area has been searched. This was part of the trap search, so he can safely go 3 and 4, and now he is looking down this hallway. Let's also look down this hallway. We already know about the wall right there. The one new thing we have is this door. Is Robert going to search for traps? No, he is not. Okay, let me review. He was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. No traps on those squares he stepped on. No monsters either. So we are back to Treyas the Wizard. So let's scoot the camera over here. He could search this for traps, but there's no reason to walk down there, so it doesn't really matter if there are traps or not. We'll get him moving back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now again, he can actually do a search in this hallway because he is in a square adjacent to that hallway. Let's go ahead and have him take care of the secret door search, and there are none. Oh, he could have done the trap search. Oh well, we already did it. Gramina, I forgot that Robert Tylan went bounding down that hallway before it was searched. I've just thrown my movement dice. Where'd it go? Okay, it's on the shelf. It lives with the spider now. I'm gonna go grab that. One moment. All right. There we go. I got it. And good news, I wasn't eaten by any spiders. I live to roll dice another day. Okay, now Gramina can move. Now that I've finished throwing all of my stuff. 1, 2, 3. Is she gonna search for traps? Yes, she is. No traps either. Justin says you stole what I was gonna type. There we go. I felt something weird in my hair just there. I thought, oh no, was there a spider after all? No, I think I'm okay. All right, Ragnar, is he on camera? Yeah, he's down here. Let's move him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he can't move his 9th because again, Treyas is in his way. Nothing he can search from that particular position either, so we are now at the Berserker, who should be able to move the rest of the way down that hallway to that door, unless he gets a real garbage roll, which he didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opening the door, we have pretty close to the final room in this quest. Let's see what we got here. First off, we have an alchemy bench. So let's go ahead and put a carpet down here. Oh, see, we got a little skeleton guy here too. Let's actually flip this, or that skeleton's gonna get in the way of the alchemy bench. I'm gonna flip that around. I believe this is the Mage of the Mirror alchemy bench too, or alchemy table. So again, we've kind of got like elvish design, and everything is a little bit curvy. This is another one of the really neat miniatures. Also in this room is another Chaos Warrior. Right in the doorway. Justin says, Savannah said something about finding a dead spider in her last stream, I think. Yeah, yes indeed. and another decent sized one. Not as big as the one that I lost that day, but I actually killed that one the day after I lost the spider. I was kind of poking around down here just to see if it was hanging out down here somewhere, and I didn't find it, but I did find two slightly smaller ones. But yeah, one of those slightly smaller ones, it's actually, I can see it from right here, was still a pretty decent size. Definitely was not the size of the big guy though. Okay, Robert, he's opened that door. He's got a little bit of movement left. Is he gonna stop and search for traps? Yes, he is. There are no traps in that room. Not a whole lot in the way of traps in this quest. That leads us to the monster's turn, which means that this Chaos Warrior can come up here and attack. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe at the Berserker, hitting him with a 2. And he blocks. He's done really good blocking. Actually, everybody has done really good blocking. Goma is gonna get you, yes. Absolutely. I need to get myself a slingshot so I can shoot it in the eye. Oh, Shelob from Lord of the Rings? Yeah, yeah. All right, Atreus. Is he on camera? Nope, he sure isn't. Back over here, we have the whole line of the rest of the heroes trying to catch up with Robert. Oh, well, that's going to help. He got a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, unfortunately, because Robert didn't go in there, the heroes aren't going to be able to do much to help him. Now, Atreus can, but the rest of them won't really. Now, we could pass through Rock Atreus in there. Not on this turn, but we could on a future turn. For now, let's go ahead and use Atreus' sleep spell on the... No, I'm sorry. I was going to. Atreus can't use a sleep spell on the Chaos Warrior, and I messed that up because this is something I recently changed. I made Chaos Warriors undead. They have 0 mind points. Sleep spells don't affect them. Well, it was a good idea. Instead, Atreus is going to attack this guy. He sends a blast of energy from his wand, hitting the Chaos Warrior with a critical hit of 2. Which it does not defend. It doesn't kill it, but that pretty severely damages it. Next we have Gramina. She's not really going to be able to do much, but we'll go ahead and bring her down here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry guys, I didn't put that interaction on the camera. Now Gramina, I would say, is not within sight of that Chaos Warrior. It's just too much of a diagonal there, so there's nothing she can do here. Ragnar's not on camera, but he's about to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And nothing he can really do either. Now, he could use his Rallying Call skill, and it would give all 4 heroes +2 defense, but that only works if Ragnar can see the monster, and he can't. Justin says, Aragog won't harm a friend of Hagrid, but he cannot deny his children fresh meat that so willingly wanders into their lair. Yeah, that's about right. That's kind of what it felt like that night, was in the Forest of Spiders. That brings us to Robert Tylan, who, yeah, we just need to do a regular attack, and then we either need to just, like, get him out of the way, although that Chaos Warrior's only got 1 body point left, so surely we're going to get that. Robert swings his broadsword. Okay, hitting the Chaos Warrior with a 1. So maybe? Ah, the Chaos Warrior defends. With his other action, though, he can actually do 1 more search in that room. He can search that yellow room for secret doors, and it's a shame we didn't let Gramina do that, because there is 1 secret door in this room, and it is right here. Okay, monster's turn. The Chaos Warrior is again going to attack Robert Tylan. Swings his axe. Ouch, hitting him with a 4. That's a bad hit right there. And Robert does not defend a single one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That drops him to 2 body points. However, thanks to his skills, this allows him to immediately trigger his retaliation skill. This skill can only be used if you have 5 or fewer body points, which he does. You may use the skill immediately after you have taken damage from an adjacent monster, which he just did, immediately make an attack against that monster. This does not use up an action for your next turn. So we're going to go ahead and have Robert swing his broadsword, hitting the Chaos Warrior with a 1, but it defends. Well, it was worth a try. Now, technically, he also can trigger his Frenzy skill, but I think that's not something that he can trigger. He has to wait till his turn. Yes. And actually, it won't help him. That really only helps if he's right in the middle of a whole bunch of monsters. Okay, so back to the hero's turn. We are now at Atreus, who is standing right here. He is the only other hero who can help. And he doesn't have any attacking spells, but it might be to our advantage for him to use his other heal body. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So Atreus is going to cast his other heal body spell on Robert, just so that we're not in danger of him dying. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This puts him back up to 6 body points, where he was before that last attack. And Atreus can go ahead and shoot a blast of energy at that Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. Again, possible that that gets rid of it. And it does. The Chaos Warrior does not defend. It is out of there. All right, Gramina. Let's get some searching done. Oh, she only rolled a 2. That means she can't do anything because she can't get past him. All right, I guess not. Ragnar, anything? Yeah, Ragnar's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what's he gonna do? This room only needs to be either search for treasure or he's gonna leave. So is it gonna be treasure or is he headed for that other door? He's just headed straight for the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's gonna open this door, and this right here is indeed our last room of the quest. In this room is a treasure chest and one totally harmless stone statue. Yeah. Now Ragnar has one more move. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. The treasure chest is trapped. Bet you can't guess what happens if the trap is set off. Justin says it's probably empty or trapped. Yeah, called it. Yeah, absolutely. So it's possible they get away without having to fight this thing. But Gramina needs to get in there. Atreus can also disarm traps, but Gramina has a much better chance. So we ought to let her do it. Okay, Robert Tylan, we do need to search this yellow room here for treasure. So let's go ahead and just get that done. We'll move him in one and have him search for treasure. All right, 3 of these 50 gold coins cards right in a row. I need to make sure this treasure deck gets shuffled a little better next time. My discard pile just like partially collapsed. That was weird. You find a short lever sticking out of a nearby wall. Warily, you pull the lever. You hear several gear-like noises until finally you hear a click. Suddenly, a chest drops out of the ceiling directly above you, smashing apart on your head. If you are not wearing a helmet, you lose 1 body point. Either way, you find 50 gold coins in the chest. Is Robert wearing a helmet? Yes, he is. Okay, so that didn't hurt him. Probably just made him mad. And we are up to 165 gold. I forgot that card was in there. That's pretty fantastic. You're not going to find that card in a regular hero quest. Okay, monster's turn. Yes, we have that gargoyle on the board, but as of now, it's just a stone statue. So, Atreus. Is there even anything for him to do? I mean, he could go into the little room and search for secret doors, but again, where would it go? It could lead out into the hallway where they've already been, back into the stairway room, which wouldn't help much, back into the red room, which wouldn't help much. So it kind of goes without saying that there's not a secret door in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. How much did he get? 5, 6. Let's go ahead and just position him in here in case they end up triggering that gargoyle. Gramina. Don't get a low roll, Gramina. You're the only one who can help us. Yes, that's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. All right, Gromina, now come on. She got a decent roll, literally one short of being able to disarm that chest on this turn. that's slacking. That's exactly it. Oh my gosh. So we're going to have to do a whole nother turn to get her around there. Okay. Well, Robert Island 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go ahead and again kind of position them for the worry that this guy is going to activate. I absolutely detest totally skipping heroes' turns, but if there's nothing they can do, there's nothing they can do. We'll go ahead and skip Treyas and get back to Gromina. We also just skipped Ragnar, I just realized. But again, there's nothing they can do. We'll go ahead and let Gromina move over here and attempt to disarm this chest. Now, Gromina currently has Dwarf Disarm, which means she has a 5/6 chance of properly disarming this chest. If this is a skull or a white shield, she's done it and it's good. If it's a black shield, that gargoyle comes to life and attacks immediately. So watch the bottom left. It's a skull. She disarmed the trap, so that gargoyle they do not have to fight. Now she moved and disarmed, so that's her turn. We are now at Ragnar. He can't reach the chest. There's nothing for him to do. Theoretically, I guess he would be rolling to move back towards the staircase, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we are at Robert Tylan, who also can't reach this, the chest. So we'll go ahead and just roll him also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I almost dropped him. And that brings us back to Treyas. And we'll go ahead and let Treyas be the one to open that chest then. What's in the chest? The chest is empty. Boy, Justin, you called that, I mean, literally perfectly. Empty and trapped. It's a little disappointing almost. I almost kind of wish that she had failed that disarm and they would have had one last monster to fight. Okay, that is it. So let's get them their gold and talk cleanup, and then we will get out of here for the night. All right, so we've got quite a few things that we need to take care of for gold. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a calculator so that I'm not having to do math while I'm live. We are right now at 165 gold coins, which is a really good haul considering that's all just from searching for treasure. They got really lucky with the 50 gold coin cards. They also get 200 coins from Mentor, just the normal 50 coins per surviving hero. And then also, they are going to get 490 coins because of the nature of this quest. So again, it's been a while since we've read the quest text, and some of you might be watching that weren't here when I read it. This quest, the heroes were kind of acting as mercenaries. The Emperor hired these guys to go in here and clear out these monsters, and they were promised a certain amount of gold per kill. So I knew the heroes were going to kill every monster in here. The gargoyle didn't count toward the total, so that didn't matter. And the total, if we add up every monster they killed in this quest, is 490 coins. So if we add all that together, that gives us 855 coins to end up with. That is not bad, because that is total for a single quest. We went into this quest with 0 coins. That is a striking number, honestly. Now again, just to head off comments from people who are wondering if that's too much. The only reason we do that, okay, we've added in a lot of stuff like that 200 coin bonus for completing a quest, and that is only because we are utilizing a big group of heroes. So we have 11 heroes. By the end of the campaign, we'll have 20 heroes who all need to be outfitted. There is also a tier 2 armory that several classes are going to unlock, not all of them, but several classes are going to unlock a tier 2 armory, and all of the items in there are very expensive. We're talking in the thousands of gold to buy stuff. So yes, it definitely seems like too much, but we're going to find out that that is going to fly out of there really quick. So yes, it works out. I promise it's not overkill. It seems like it, but it isn't. All right, what do we have? Justin says, imagine that. From what I've gathered with my limited play, chests are disappointing. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. There are a couple of times that I've... yeah, there are a couple of times that I've changed it so that there's a little bit more of a reward, especially if you've done something particularly difficult. But yeah, some of those I like the troll, so I've left it. All right, we're gonna clean up unused skills and spells. There we go. Go ahead and clean up items. Oh yeah, we need to take a look at this Orc's Bane. Now that we're off the quest, and theoretically all the heroes are together, do we have any heroes that actually would benefit from this weapon right at the moment, or should we just get rid of it? Who can wield this? So again, it's a short sword, so Wizard, Warlock, Druid, and Monk all can't have it. So it would be a downgrade for Grimina, other than when she's attacking orcs. Be a downgrade for Ragnar, downgrade for Robert Tylan, downgrade for Thraken. The Druid was on the list of can't have it. Warlock can't have it. It would be a downgrade for Hogard. Monk can't have it. It's also a downgrade for the Elf. And Mordecai can't have it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. This is a little bit... I usually give this to somebody, but the fact that it only lets them hit with 2 unless they're attacking an orc means that it's kind of... I don't want to say useless, but we've already progressed past the point where that's particularly helpful. Having 4 dice against an orc would be helpful, but being downgraded to 2 at all other times is... Let's keep it for now. There is one situation in which this theoretically might be useful, but even then we could buy a broadsword. So eventually, if a wizard builds the combat skill, the rogue or the druid, yes, that's a good point. So I closed this off to the druid as well, Bohemius, but the rogue is a good point. So maybe we keep this around and hand it off to the rogue. And also, if a wizard builds the combat skill and maxes it, so what the wizard gets for level 10 combat is access to the broadsword. And then theoretically, the short sword would be on that list as well. So a wizard would also benefit from Orc's Bane if they've maxed combat. We're just going to have to keep this thing in somebody's inventory for theoretically quite a while. But we'll go ahead and keep it. I'm sure we probably wouldn't be getting a lot of money for it if we sold it. Oh, did you finish? Nice, okay. So again, Savannah's been down here painting while we've been playing, and tonight she painted Mordecai, our brand new wizard. Switch to a phone camera here. Here he is. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's his card right there. You can see she just pretty much matched him up to the card. Man, I can't imagine how you painted all those runes. I bet that was not fun.
No.
You got gold on every single one of those runes along the cloak. And you got text in the book. Can we get the camera to focus? Look at that. Oh, that's fantastic. Now again, I think Avalon Hill intended for this mini to be Mentor, but there's not really a reason to have a Mentor mini. I mean, he specifically states that he can't go on quests himself. So that book, I think, is supposed to be Lore Tome, but instead this is our brand new wizard Mordecai, so this is just a regular spell book. Awesome. We might have him go on tomorrow's quest, since he's lower than everybody else on the number of quests he's been on. Okay, let's get skill sets done and let's get out of here. All right, once again, just to keep in theme for tonight's episode, since I've been repeatedly saying if this is your first time watching an episode. If this is your first time watching an episode, the heroes at the end of each quest, whatever heroes win on the quest, get 2 skill set points, which they have to spend immediately. There are 6 skill set categories and 10 levels in each one of those categories. The rewards that the heroes get changes per class, so it's not just the same thing across the board. There is not a reward for every single level, but there is always a reward for maxing something. So level 10 for every category, for every hero class is something. So there's no like waste of time categories. Now there's definitely some that give you less than others, but let's go ahead and take care of our 4 heroes. Atreus the Wizard. I'm going to go ahead and erase the damage off his sheet too. Oh yes, I don't have the right thing up. Yeah, there we go. I think everybody did pretty good in the quest tonight. This quest went pretty easily, and the heroes were doing pretty good teamwork-wise. This might have been the least damage that the party took out of all of the quests we've done so far. That's kind of neat. With quest 11? Yes, it was. Okay, so for Atreus' first skill set point, he is going to take Magic Memorization level 3. And that for him is increasing to 9 spells per quest. So that's awesome. He'll get to take another spell in. His second point is going to be Combat level 2. I'm quite sure that's nothing for a wizard, but we'll check anyway. Yeah, he doesn't get anything until level 5. Okay, so that is him taken care of. He is also carrying Orc's Bane in his own inventory for now. That's... I always abbreviate the potions in their inventory too. I always forget. I have to double take because for Potion of Strength I write POS in their inventory. I always double take whenever I see it. Gramina, okay, I don't know if this means she did really good or if she was really lazy. She didn't take a single point of damage this whole quest.
Because she's off.
Yeah, now she wasn't jumping right into the middle of every conflict, but she did jump right in. I mean, there was at least once that she was the first to walk into a room with a Chaos Warrior and attack it. So, yeah, wild that she didn't take any damage though. Okay, her first skill set point is going to be Magic Skill 1. So obviously, an explorer, a dwarf of any kind, isn't going to get a huge amount in the magic areas, but we'll just go ahead and see what she gets. Yeah, so at level 3 here, we will give her access to spells, and then she has to pair that up with Magic Memorization level 4, and then she'll start carrying one random spell into the quest. Her second point is going to be Magic Memorization 2. I guess she was interested in magic this week. Sir Ragnar also didn't take any damage. Yeah, you know what? This was definitely the least amount of damage taken out of any of the quests we've played. The dice were being very, very good to the heroes today. And honestly, Ragnar and Gramina circumvented a lot of the map. They didn't kill near the amount of monsters that the other two did. But yeah, he maintained that rock skin spell for the entire quest. Ragnar's first point, Magic Memorization level 1. Yeah, he's in the same boat as the dwarves are in that. So he's got to have Magic Skill 3 and Magic Memorization 4 to benefit from that. His second point is going to be Magic Memorization 2. So both Ragnar and Gramina interested in magic this week. Makes you wonder what they saw in that alternate route they took that kind of caught both of their attention in magic. All right, and Robert Tylan, probably the hero of the quest. He seemed to be the one who was jumping right in the middle of conflicts and taking people out and taking damage. He did take a lot of damage. He took enough damage for 2 heroes in this quest, but managed to survive. I'm liking the Berserker class more and more. I was not sure at first if I thought there was a need for this class separate from the Barbarian, but I am enjoying it. Okay, his first point is going to be... I draw 2 cards? No, I didn't. Machinery level 1. Machinery is all about trap disarm. I'm quite sure he doesn't get anything for level 1. That is correct. At level 3, he will get toolkit disarm. His other point is going to be Constitution level 3. This is body points. He doesn't get anything for level 3, but that is what he would get. He'll get another body point at level 4. Cool. So not a huge amount of actual benefits handed out today, but the heroes are setting themselves up to get some good stuff as we continue on. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are really close to finished with this first book. This first book, The Coming Storm, is made up of 14 quests, and tonight we did quest 11. Starting on Friday night, which is the next time we'll have a quest stream, we will be starting the kind of trilogy ending of this book. So the last 3 quests are all kind of connected together. So we're going to be starting the first of those connected quests on Friday night. Don't forget that tomorrow night there will be a painting stream right here on the same channel, starting right at midnight. Savannah is going to be painting some more heroes, I imagine, right? You're going to be working on another hero to be painted, so definitely come hang out with her tomorrow night while she paints, give some input on what's going on, hang out and have some good chats, and then we'll have a night off on Thursday nights. That's our only night that you can go do whatever it is you do when you're by yourself on a Thursday night. And then Friday night we will be back for the first of the trilogy quests to end our first book. And again, also, as I said at the beginning, this is book 1 out of 14 as well. So we have literally more than 100 more quests in this campaign. So we are not going to be done anytime soon. And we're going to be playing quests in this campaign that I've never actually played before. So I'm looking forward to getting past this early stuff that I've done a billion times and getting into that later stuff. Hope you guys are excited too. I saw we just went up a viewer. Sorry, new viewer, whoever you are, we're getting ready to end. So yes, oh gosh. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We've had a pretty good amount of viewers throughout the night, and of course, unsurprisingly, just like always, lots of fun conversation with Justin Paulett and Bohemius. We missed Gohan tonight. I wonder what Gohan was doing. He must have been busy. Hope everything's okay with him. Missed chatting with him too, but thank you guys for hanging out with me. We hope you enjoyed everything that you saw, everything that you heard, and like I said, painting stream tomorrow night, and then we will be back for the kind of first of the ending quests for our first book on Friday night. We will catch you guys then. See you later.